Good morning, students. I hope everybody is fine at your home and all of you are keeping a good health. Before we go to the next topic, I would like to tell you what our new topic today is. The topic today that we'll be discussing is pronouns. Okay, pronoun. Now, first of all, let us start with the question: what is a pronoun? Pronoun is a word that can be used in place of a noun. That is called a pronoun. Okay. Now, for example, we are using, suppose, a noun, name of a person. We are telling a paragraph about a person. Okay. In every sentence of the paragraph, we are not going to repeat the name of the person again and again, isn't it? So, after one or two sentences, we will use some words in place of the name of that person, isn't it? Those words are called a pronoun, right? So, this is the topic that we'll be discussing today. Pronoun, a word that is used in place of a noun. Now, let us look at an example here. Manoj studies in my class. So, the first sentence, we can see that the sentence is about Manoj. He is the monitor of the class. Here, the word he is used instead of Manoj. So, he is a pronoun. Continuing, I saw him in the market yesterday. Again, the word him is used in place of Manoj. So, that again is a pronoun. Then, this jacket is his. Now, here the word his is used instead of Manoj's. Okay, we can also say the sentence, this jacket is Manoj's. So, instead of Manoj's, we are using the word his. So, again that word his is used in place of a noun. So, that also is a pronoun. So, students, the word that is used in place of a noun is called a pronoun. Fine. Now, before going to the next part in the pronoun, we need to understand two things, two words. First is subject and the other word is object. Okay, what is a subject and what is a object? Now, in a sentence, the word, the doer of the action, in every sentence there is an action that is told. Okay, there is an action or there is an act or there is a work that is told in every sentence. Whoever is the doer of the action or whom is the sentence talking about. Every particular sentence talks about somebody. This sentence is telling about this person. This sentence is telling about this person. So, every sentence talks about someone or there is a doer of the action in every sentence. This person is called the subject, the doer of the action, or about whom is the sentence talking. That person or that thing is called the subject of that sentence. Understood? So, that is subject. Now, let us try to understand object. What is the object? Now, if there is a person who is the receiver of the action, upon whom the action is done, that person is called the receiver of the action. That person or that thing is called the object of the sentence. Let me give you an example of subject and let me give you an example of object. First sentence, look at the example A. She jumped with joy. She jumped with joy. Here we are talking about she, isn't it? We are talking about she. So, she is the subject. She is the subject of the sentence. You understand? Okay. Next sentence, they watched the film today. Whom are we talking about? They. They are the doer of the action and we are talking about they. So, they is the subject. Now, next example. Look at the next set of examples. Rima called me for the school play. Okay, Rima called me for the school play. Who called? Who is the doer of the action? Rima. So, Rima is the subject. Whom did Rima call? वो कॉलिंग का एक्शन किस पे हुआ है? मी. सो मी इज द ऑब्जेक्ट. ओके, रिसीवर ऑफ द एक्शन. ठीक है, सो मी इज द ऑब्जेक्ट. हु इज द डूअर ऑफ द एक्शन? रीमा. that is subject, and who is the receiver of the action? Me. So me is the object. Look at the next example. He took them home. He took them home. Okay, so who is the doer of the action? Who took? He took. We are talking about, whom are we talking about? He. So he is the subject, but whom did he take? Them. So them is the object of the action, object of the sentence. I'm sorry. Okay, so he is doer of the action. We are talking about he, so he is the subject, and who is the receiver of the action? Them. So them is the object. Okay, I hope you are clear with subject and object. Now the part about pronoun that we have to study is after understanding subject and object. So subject is the doer of the action, or about whom the sentence is speaking. Object is the receiver of the action, upon whom the action is done. Now let us try to understand it according to pronoun. If a pronoun is acting as a subject, if a pronoun is acting as a subject, if it is the subject in a sentence, then that pronoun is in subjective or nominative case. We call it subjective or nominative case. I repeat, if the pronoun is acting as a subject or is the subject in a sentence, then that pronoun is in nominative or subjective case. Okay, now look at the example. She jumped with joy. She jumped with joy. She is the pronoun and she is the subject in the sentence. So she in this sentence is in subjective case or nominative case. Okay, next example. They watched the film today. Now here what is the pronoun? They. And they is the subject in the sentence, the doer of the action about whom the sentence is telling. So they is the subject in the sentence. So here they is in subjective case or nominative case. Okay, now look at the next part. If the next part is, if the pronoun is in the working as, or is in the part, or is in the place of an object, if a pronoun is acting as a object in a sentence, then that pronoun is told to be in objective case. If it is a subject, subjective case. If it is an object, objective case. Fine, this is what we have to understand. Pronoun acting as a subject, subjective case. Pronoun acting as an object, objective case. Look, let us look at example of objective case. Look at the second set of example. First one, Rima called me for the school play. Okay, now what is the pronoun here? Me. Me is the pronoun, right? So me is acting as an object. So me is in objective case. Okay, now next one, he took them home. Now here what are the pronouns? Here there are two pronouns, he and them. He is working as a subject, so it is in subjective case. Them is acting as an object, so it is in objective case. Okay, so I hope you are clear with subjective and objective. I repeat, pronoun that is acting as a subject is in subjective case. A pronoun that is acting as an object is in objective case. Okay, now let us go to the next part, students. Now here the type of pronouns. Type of pronouns may first one. The first type of pronouns is personal pronouns. The first type of pronouns is personal. There are other types of pronouns also that we'll be discussing in the next video. But in this video, we need to understand what is the first type of pronoun, that is personal pronouns. Before understanding personal pronouns, we need to understand persons. Okay, persons we get personal. From persons we get personal. So what are the persons? First person. You can see the first two lines, it is first person. In the third line you can see second person. Then next all four lines you can see third person. Now who is the first person, who is the second person, who is the third person? The first person is the speaker. Okay, the first person is the speaker. If I am speaking, I am the first person. Okay, if you are speaking, you are the first person. Okay, so person who speaks is the first person, right? Now second person. Who is the second person? The person who is listening, to whom the speaker is speaking. If I am speaking, you are listening, I am first person, you are second person. Okay, and if you are speaking, I am listening, you are the first person, I am the second person. Okay, the second person is the person to whom the first person is speaking, or the listener of the first person. Now the third person. Who is the third person? Suppose I am speaking to you about somebody else, so that somebody else is the third person. If I am talking to you, I am the first person, you are the second person, and if you are talking about somebody else, so that somebody else is the third person. Okay, so first person speaker, second person the listener, third person somebody else. Okay, now this first person, second person, third person can be singular as well as plural. If the speaker is one, that is first person singular. If the speaker are many, we all together are speaking, so many people are speaking, so it is first person plural. If I alone am speaking, so first person singular. If we all are speaking, so it is first person plural. Got it? Now second person also can be singular or plural. Second person is one person, the listener is one person, so the second person, it is second person singular. If there are many listeners, okay, so that is second person plural. Okay, now third person singular and plural. If you are talking about somebody else and that is only one person, so it is third person singular. Okay, and if we are talking about somebody else and there are many people all together, more than one, then they are called third person plural. Okay, so first person, second person, third person, and first person if it is one, first person singular. If the speakers are many, then first person plural. If listener is one, second person singular. If listener are many, second person plural. If the other person, third person is only one, so third person singular, and if the third person are many, they are called third person plural. Fine. So now this is the chart. First person singular, first person plural, second person singular and plural, it is kept together because the pronouns of singular, plural in second person are same. Then third person singular, there are three: masculine, feminine, neuter. The pronoun for masculine is separate, pronoun for feminine is separate, pronoun for neuter is separate, and third person plural if the third person are more than one. Now look at the pronouns of first person singular, subjective case. In the previous chart we studied about subjective and objective. Okay, so if a pronoun is in subjective case, there are other pronouns, and if the pronouns are in objective, they are separate. So first person singular subjective case is I. Okay, and first person plural objective case is me. Now for example, I would like to explain it. Let us say that the subjective case, if a pronoun is acting as a subject, okay, if first person singular pronoun is acting as a subject, it will be always I. And if the first person singular is acting as an object, okay, then it will be always me. So first person singular subject will be always I, and first person singular object will be always me. Fine. Now first person plural, subject is we and object is us. Okay. Now second person singular and plural, subject is you and the object is you. Again, here the subject and object are same. Then third person singular masculine, subject, if the pronoun is subject, then it will be he, and if the pronoun is object, it will be him. Feminine, third person singular feminine, if it is subject, it will be she, and if it is object, it will be her. Then third person singular neuter gender, non-living thing. So if it is a subject, it will be it, and if it is an object, it would be again it. Here also they are same. Then third person plural, subject, it will be they, and if it is an object, it would be them. Now students, you can try to I have tried to explain this. Still, if you have doubt, we have doubt solving sessions. You can get your doubts cleared in the doubt solving sessions. There is no reason for being nervous or being tensed about it. Okay, so you can get it even solved. If you have understood, it is very good. If you have not understood, we definitely will have a very detailed class in the doubt solving session. Fine. Then next one, let us look at some examples here. Look at the first example. I have a toy car. So here, what is the pronoun I? I is the subject, isn't it? So first person singular subject is I. Okay, look at the next one. You have many friends. So you again is the subject here. Okay, second person subject, you. Then look at the third one. She is an intelligent girl. We are talking about she is the subject. So third person singular feminine subject, it is she. Okay, and then next example, Manish has called him to the ground. Now here subject is Manish, but the object is him. Third person singular masculine and objective case, him. Then we will invite them to the party. Okay, so them again, here the subject is we is the subject, first person plural subjective case, that is we, and them is the object, third person plural object, that is them. Okay, so these were the examples of personal pronoun. Fine. So students, I hope you have tried to understand and you have understood. Try to look at the video once or twice, again and again, and if you are still not able to understand, we will definitely get back or get together into doubt solving sessions and we'll get it clarified there. Okay, fine. Have a good day, have a wonderful and healthy life. Thank you students and parents.